Hey, and it's Grant, and he's back. Hey, Grant, how's it going? How's the stream working now? I hope it's better this time. You know what? I really can't believe there's still people who look at these videos that I posted so long ago. We're talking 3.5 years back in 2017 when I posted these videos. Oh, fantastic. Thanks. So, yeah, it's been a long time. To be fair, I don't even know what brought me back. No way. Daily. I'm back again. Before anyone gets too excited, I don't know whether this means that I'm going to come back and make sort of regular ASMR content. I'm not sure. The reason I'm sort of back into even thinking about it and back on the channel, I was approached by a university a couple of months ago to do basically an interview as part of a documentary on ASMR. Hi, Els. So yeah, recently I did an interview just about ASMR and what it was, how I got involved, the different types, different genres within it, and sort of what it is and what it isn't. I think everyone knows now that it's starting to become more of a thing in the public consciousness. It's not just a strange internet phenomenon, internet phenomenon anymore. It's something that a lot of people have heard about, and so yeah, like I say, I was brought in to do this interview, and it really got me thinking. The questions got me thinking about why I did it, and more importantly, why I stopped. Hi, Aubrey. Where did I go? I went lots of places. I've moved house twice since my last video. I've left a long-term relationship since the last video, and I left a very long-term job since the last video. The last job was one of the main reasons why I stopped making ASMR content. Long story short, the guys at work, long story short, the guys at work found out about it. And you know what? If they'd given me a hard time about it, if they'd teased me about it, if they'd made jokes about it, that would have been fine. I would understand that, and I'd laugh along because it's an odd thing, it's an odd hobby to have. But they didn't. And that was worse somehow. It was actually my immediate supervisor who called me into his office one day and just said, "What on earth is ASMR?" And the bottom fell out of my world at that moment, because I tried really hard to keep it private. And here it was, something that was quite personal, and very not in keeping with the job that I did at the time. Very unusual. And yeah, and they thought it was so strange that they wouldn't even tease me for it. And that sounds weird to be asking to be teased, but at least then it would have been acceptable, and it would be something we could talk about, and something that I could dispel some myths. But the fact that they felt so uncomfortable about these videos that they couldn't even approach me even as a joke, yeah, that really really put me off, to be fair. And hi, Shadow. Yeah, that really put me off. And I also thought, with how easy people had found me at work, that I didn't want that happening again with people that I dealt with through work. You know, colleagues was one thing, but it would be quite another if other people at work found out. So that was the main reason why I stopped. And here we are, 3.5 years later, different job. Not that the guys at work would be any better than the last guys at the last job, but let's just say I don't work in such a public-facing role anymore, so it really doesn't matter too much whether people know or not. My real name isn't such a public sort of piece of public knowledge, if you like. So here we are. So how many are actually in the chat? Let's have a look. We've got 10 by the looks of it. That's quite impressive. Yeah, so I do feel I need to... Oh, River, that is a really good idea. That is a very, very good idea. Because if I remember rightly, the analytics, when I used to look back, I probably had about 50-50 UK to USA. Well, 45 and 10 were from elsewhere. Oh, hang on, let's get the... That's better. Get the focus back in. Yeah, if we could block local videos, that would be ideal. I think the one that really got me, not in trouble, but the one that sort of brought me to local attention was the one that I did about my accent. Because I put the area that I'm from, because I put Northumberland in the accent, in the title of that video. It just meant that it was a little bit too close to home, and people found out. Not only work found out, but a friend of my sister found out, and then that was immediately all over Facebook, and that was just a whole other thing. So I don't know if any of you guys were around for a while when I took the videos offline for a couple of months. That was just to let the heat die down, basically. Oh, so now my stream's bitrate is higher than the recommended. Can't get this one. Yeah, looks, I know you're right. I do. It's just easier said than done. It's one of these things where you're right, there's nothing wrong with it, and there's nothing embarrassing or really that strange about it. But what I really enjoyed about making the videos and talking to people and replying to comments was the fact that it was so open and so, I felt, very personal. And it was just the way that overlap happened. It wasn't welcome. I very much liked having one box for ASMR and one box for work and professional life and real life. Aubrey Stark, so am I back making ASMR videos, or just letting you know where I was at? I'm not even sure, to be fair. Hi, Phil. I genuinely don't know if there's still a market for it, if there are still people who actually want to watch it, if people want more. And I can think of some ideas, then it's possible. I'm not going to promise anything, because I tried that before when I was gone for a few months and made a big announcement about coming back, and then something happened and I didn't come back, and I felt awful for it, because over this entire time I've still got messages from people who enjoy the videos, people saying that they miss the content, they miss me, and they want me to come back. So I've always carried a little bit of guilt, to be fair. I never wanted to feel like I let people down, so I'm not going to promise anything, but I'd like you to know that it's on my mind, and it's something I'm definitely thinking about. Yeah, Phil, I think you're right. It has grown an awful lot. I pop onto this particular YouTube channel from time to time where I've got all my ASMR subscriptions, and I have a look on Twitter. I still get, likes and follows on all of those. And to be fair, I just don't know where to start. There are so many new people. There is so much ASMR content out there. I was never going to make it big. I was never going to be a million subscriber YouTuber. But the sort of 2,500 that I got still blows my tiny mind. I'll tell you what. Oh, hello. Yeah, so Phil has said that he thinks having a routine or a schedule can become a bit stressful. People who plan to post once a week, and it's not realistic unless you're professional. With the fringe in a hoodie. Well, no fringe. There might be a hoodie around here somewhere, but no, I'm too old for all that. I'm well into my 30s now. I am far too old for TikTok. That's just not me. Yeah, and that was another problem with my work schedule. I worked shifts 24 hours, well, not 24-hour shifts, but I worked a mix of early shifts, late shifts, and overnight. And it was just so difficult to keep up that schedule along with a normal, real day-to-day life. Things are a little bit better now. I've got a slightly more flexible sort of work pattern. I have a lot more days off than I used to, which is always nice. So yeah, I mean, maybe there is space for it in my life again. If I think that there's a way to fit it back in and to come back, then yeah, I'd like to do that. I mean, the fact that people have appeared now, with this completely random, out of the blue live stream with no announcement, no great fanfare or planning really, says there is still a little market for my little videos. What type of work is that? And this is what I was saying before about my boxes. This box is work, and this box is ASMR or public YouTubey stuff. So I'm not going to say. Suffice to say, my old work was very public facing, and this one isn't. So there's a lot more anonymity, I suppose. With my last job, I was expected to carry myself and conduct myself in a certain way that fitted to the standards of that job, and that was at all times, at work, away from work, online and offline. Hi, A West. Yeah, everything's gone pretty well over here. Thanks for coming aboard. And thanks again for that, Phil. Yeah, absolutely right. ASMR content is something for people to consume when they feel a certain way or want to feel a certain way. And it's very much the same for someone who creates it. If you don't feel it, if you are not in that place to do it and to genuinely be open and engage with people the way that I like to, then there's really not that much point in doing it. So again, that's one of the reasons I stopped. But got all the equipment, got things to click and make noises with, and I can still whisper on both sides of the microphone. So what more do I need? I don't have a green screen though. Never got one of those. Never got costumes either. That's pretty much how I'd spell Raji. So whereabouts in the UK have you been, Phil? Hi, Cool Mint. Thanks for the comment. Yeah, you're definitely right. I wouldn't want anything more than what I have, basically what I had. That was more than I ever expected, and certainly it was never something I wanted to make a career of or devote all of my time to. It was something that I like to dip in from time to time, as and when I felt the mood. And I think that's why I felt at least quite a genuine connection to people, and it's why I still to this day have read every comment, replied to quite a lot of them, because it was a genuine thing. You know, I only did it when I felt like I was in the right sort of headspace to make a video, and yeah, I think a schedule would get in the way of that for me. It's not for me. Yeah, Aubrey, that Tony Stark roleplay, that did quite well. I think that's probably the video with the most views, or at least it was when I last looked. Every time an Avengers movie came out, that video would suddenly spike on the analytics. So it's yeah, that one's done quite well for me. Well, the Northeast is it's full of Raji Gadgis, you're right. Hi, Kristen. Well, it's not a lot of travel going on at the moment anyway in the UK, but definitely when you get the chance, definitely say visit the Northeast. I've been to a few places. I lived in Scotland for a few years, and as gorgeous as Scotland was, it's not home. It's not the Northeast. It's where I belong. It's home, and it's my favourite place in the world. If only I could get the Scottish people to move down here. I love the Scottish people. But if I left the Northeast, I'd miss all my castles and all my beaches. It looks to me as if the stream's crashed. I don't know if it has or not. And I can't see how many people are in there. Oh, there we go. It's come back again. There's 10 of you in here listening to this nonsense. Yeah, I wouldn't want to say too much about Hartlepool, other than if you've been there, you know. No, Aubrey never been to the USA. And it was not a place I really felt like visiting over the last 4 years almost. But yeah, maybe sometime after the 20th of January I'll think about it again. You know what, when I bought this laptop to make these videos with 3.5, almost 4 years ago, it was really good. But now just to run this live stream, I'm getting error messages saying encoding overloaded and turn down your video settings, and you should hear the noises things make. And I've had to put a noise filter on to cut out the worst of this background noise. So the fans are going crazy on this thing. And the fans are going crazy in the chat, obviously. Thank you. Have I kept listening to ASMR? On and off. It's not been a regular thing. But I do sometimes. There's maybe a handful, maybe half a dozen people that I still listen to. What I could do with, though, if you don't mind, is some recommendations. Like I say, I've been away from it for so long that the people that I listen to now are the people I listened to 4 years ago. So who should I listen to now? Anyone who's watching the stream, just pop your favorite recommendations in there, and I'll have a listen to them. Any favorites? GB was always my favorite, only because when I had about, well, not only because, but primarily because about 3 videos into ASMR, when I had about 25 subscribers, she gave me a shout out on a channel, and then instantly things started to grow. I can still see the spike if I look at the analytics on the channel. So GB was definitely my first favorite. Male or female? I genuinely don't have a preference, or I don't have anything against one or the other. I think there are more options with female ASMR creators. That was something I talked about when I was interviewed for the documentary a couple of months ago. Was the fact that at least back in my day, there weren't many male ASMR creators. So they all have to be good. That's the thing. I don't mind male or female, but they have to be good. Any types? Quite simple. I've always preferred the simple stuff. I found the visual side of it a little bit distracting at times. Sometimes there's just too much going on by way of graphics and costumes and green screens, and the production values were incredible on some videos. I just wanted to hear this. Relaxing male ASMR. Okay, you know what? I'm actually going to put this on the list right now. Yeah, I was on a documentary. Wasn't televised. It was produced by Newcastle University film students a couple of months ago, and the chosen topic was ASMR. So there were a couple of people invited to be interviewed for it. As far as I know, I was the only one who did it in person. They did send me a copy of it. I do have a link to it somewhere, but I don't like editing my own videos, so I definitely don't like watching myself on an interview, so I've not seen the whole thing. Okay. Hey, some more recommendations. Let's have a look. Hi, Nabil. I get your messages and comments all the time. Thank you very much for all your kind words. Who was I recommended? A West relaxing male ASMR. Thank you. If you can hear this, actually, if I bring it up close. You know what, this is such a nice smooth pen, it doesn't make any noises for you. Sorry about that. Does anyone else have any recommendations? I've been out of this for a long time. Who should I be listening to in the ASMR world now? Thank you, Phil. I've been gone. Hi, Stephanie. I've been gone just over 3 years. I think it was around about the 20th of October 2017 when I last posted a video. But even then, that was just a sort of an announcement that I was coming back from about 6 months away. So, oh, hello, friend. Long time no see. Thank you, Carly. James Matthew. Let's have a look. Okay, James Matthew's going on the list. Let's see if I can do this without making too much of a noise. James Matthews. I promise I will check out all of these recommendations. I'm just going to put better production than me. Let's find out. Yeah, I think a pencil would make a better noise on here for you. Don't have a pencil up yet. Thank you, Stephanie. That's very kind. And Miss Chic. Yeah, well, I was talking to these guys earlier. You missed the start of this. So I'm not going to promise that I'm back making videos, but I just really felt like dropping by and seeing who was still around, seeing if there was anyone who felt like a chat. James Matthew ASMR. Yep, they are on the list. I do play the guitar. I have 6 of them. Got 5 here, and 1 is out on a long-term loan. Focus seems to keep drifting off on this camera. It's a new camera since the last video I made as well. Okay, thanks for that, Gordon. Yeah, I've definitely seen ASMR Guy, and I've seen a lot of Whispers Read. It's a great recommendation. Sophie Michelle. Let me find a better pen, see if I can actually make a noise with this pen. This pen is fantastic, and it's too quiet. Seconding Sophie Michelle. Okay, Sophie Michelle is going on the list. Who else do we have? Cat Bailey. Mono. And Subtle Sounds. I know it's like Superman Returns or something, isn't it? So yes, I do play guitar. I'm not playing it for you now. But, yeah, this is my Les Paul. Very nice. This isn't real, Wumbo. You're asleep. You're dreaming. Go back to sleep. It's not real. Dr. T. Let's have a look at Dr. T. Okay. Dr. T can go on the list. Yeah, Miss Sheik, I'm doing pretty good. I hope you're doing well. I know this. It's I know there were a couple of issues, so I hope you're doing well. And yeah, we did used to chat quite a lot. East versus West, wasn't it? How could you be so wrong? East side is the best. Not west side. East side is the best. Oh, hang on, I missed a recommendation from a West. Miss Chloe ASMR. Let's put Miss Chloe on the list. Phil, I was starting to like you. Then you had to go and ruin it. But since we're doing that, actually, that's a good idea. Where is everyone from? I think we've got 20 people in here now. 13 or 20, I don't know. It's giving me two separate numbers. Thanks for stopping by, Stephanie. Take care. Scottish undertones. Okay, they can go on the list. Well, we've got a Canadian. Ohio, nice. Oh, sorry, just clip the mic. Scottish undertones. Earth, well played. Me too. Liverpool. Excellent. Yeah, my dad was a Liverpool fan. As was I until I was about 5, and I was old enough to realise I don't live anywhere near Liverpool. So I changed my allegiance to Newcastle. Oh, I'm gonna have to stick the laptop back on charge. Bear with me. Bear with me. I think we can all admit we all love Klopp a little bit. I miss you too, that's why I'm back. Yeah, so Liverpool have always been my second team. If you're allowed to have a second team, then Liverpool are definitely my second team. My sister's a Liverpool fan. Like I said, my dad was. Oh, California, Tucson, Arizona. Yeah, Grant, I'm not sure I could cope in the heat of Arizona. It's my Celtic / Anglo-Saxon complexion. I just couldn't do it. Indiana's an Earth. And one from Texas. Hi, Andrew. Yeah, I know you're from the Northwest, Miss Chic. Doesn't make it the best. Yeah, I think the East Coast climate would probably be more my speed. My seed, that's disgusting. I think maybe like the Pacific Northwest would be more my style, where it's wet and miserable and a little bit cold. It's more my kind of thing. Hi, Christelle. Brazil, wow. Now, is that Washington, the state? Washington, D.C.? Or is it Washington in Tyne and Weir, northeast England, which is just down the road? I'm going to assume you're not just down the road. Hi, Ashley. Glad to see you too. The state. Yeah, climate-wise, it's probably more my sort of style. It's clearly Christelle. Yeah, Andrew, that was a really good idea, actually. It's one of the easiest ways to put new content out anyway. Just pick some more book that's out of copyright and just run with it. Anyway, I've gotten quite good at reading bedtime stories recently, so yeah, maybe that would be my new thing. Classics with Badger. This live stream thing is way harder than it looks. For one thing, I really need to pick my nose. Just saying. If you'll excuse me for just a second. That's better, thank you. Yeah, I quite like doing the Sherlock Holmes, actually. I did Harry Potter as well. That was just because I had the glasses on. But Harry Potter, I don't think I could get away with it. Actually, that's a point. I can pretty much do anything I want on this channel now because YouTube demonetized me about 2 months ago. So the $1 a month or whatever it was that I got has suddenly dried up. Yeah, cool, man. I have no idea how people do live streams for so long. I watched one on election night, stayed up all night and watched an 8-hour live stream of election coverage from some YouTubers. And that was a marathon. Yeah, Phil, I know what you mean about a role play. I find that quite difficult. I'm not an actor by any means. I get very, very self-conscious, so didn't get a whole lot of role play in my repertoire. Closest I got to a role play was putting on some glasses and a Superman t-shirt, slicking my hair back. I suppose I could do the Kingdom Come version of Superman from the comics or the Arrowverse. I've got all this grey hair now. Probably can't see it in this light, but I've gone very grey over the last 3 years. You can see it quite a bit there, look. Very grey. No, you don't need costumes, but I definitely don't have the acting chops, so I need all help I can get. I like the Dragon Ball Z video, to be fair. That was just me messing around with making effects in Final Cut Pro. That was really fun to do. It's just like a learning experience as much as anything. It seems that's very kind of you. What accent is that? This accent. I've got a whole video on it. If you just search for it on my channel, you'll find out all about it, and you'll find some very strange and interesting slang words too. It's a Northumbrian accent. Oh, someone help out poor Raphael there. Thank you, Nabil. Last few years, to recap for anyone who wasn't here at the start, where was I? Yeah, basically some people at work found out about my channel. Things became pretty difficult and awkward at work. And although I could have continued, they didn't tell me I had to stop. It just took all the sort of fun and spontaneity and freedom, mostly. It took the freedom out of doing it. So I stopped. Fast forward 3.5 years, I have moved house 3 times. No, twice since then. And I have a new and very different job that's no longer public facing. So I don't know if I'm back. But I did a documentary recently, or I was interviewed for a documentary recently about ASMR, which had me thinking again about the channel and why I did it. So it's been on my mind for a little while, and I thought I'd just test the water with a live stream and see who's knocking around, see if there was still an interest in me and what I did. So, Raphael, no promises. I'm not going to say that I'm definitely coming back, I may just pop in for time to time for a little chat like this, or there may be some new content coming up in the future. Yep, Phil, you're right. People can be ducks. Yeah, Miss Sheik, I always wondered about that with you being a teacher. I wouldn't say I was in a fairly similar job in a way that people expect you to be a certain kind of person and behave in a certain way and have certain hobbies. So yeah, I did wonder what might happen if students and parents found out about your channel. It's difficult, even when you know you've done nothing wrong, and people try and encourage you and tell you and remind you that there's nothing wrong with what you do. It's not weird, it's not creepy, it's just a hobby, it's an interest. But yeah, it can take the freedom out of it, and that was the big thing for me. I didn't feel free to express myself. Sims, I didn't ignore you. I did mention you earlier. I did say thank you. Sorry if you missed that. But yes, thank you very much. The Superman roleplay was a fun one to do. I'm glad you liked that one. Yeah, it really does. For someone who's naturally quite an introvert, it takes some courage to sit in front of a camera and just talk or do anything that is a little bit unusual. Yeah, so same as me then. Change of job really brings a lot more creative freedom. Miss Sheik, what is it you do now? If you don't mind sharing with the group. Yeah, unknown is definitely an empowering thing. I keep coming back to this word freedom. I should have mentioned it more when I did the interview, because that definitely makes a difference. That sense that you can do what you want, rather than you having to do what's expected of you. Call center worker. That's a job I used to do a long time ago. Okay, that's bizarre. So I used to work in a call center, and Sims, I also used to sell produce. I worked on a fruit and vegetable market stall from the age of 16 to 21. I wish I could be a graphic designer. Just haven't got the skills. Got a student there. Yeah, I did some tech support. Not graphic design. I've got a bullet journal. Not exactly graphic design, but you know, it's it is what it is. Instagram handle. Okay, that's interesting. Someone knows my name. I can't remember the last time I used my name on here. I think I'll keep my Instagram handle to myself for now. If that's all right, I will definitely think about it. The last thing I wanted to do though was sort of exploit this channel to grow my Instagram, because they're two totally separate parts of my life. The Instagram is photography based, and I felt it would be not cheating, but yeah, I want to try and grow my photography Instagram stuff organically rather than trying to take advantage of all the lovely people on here. And I don't really have a personal Instagram. I did give my name away in one of the videos. It was just a very long time ago. You've been around for a long time, Raphael. I'll have to think about it, Nabil. I really will. But I certainly wasn't going to do it before consulting you, I guess, and asking you guys whether you thought it was something that you wanted to do. Because I the last thing I want to do is to sort of exploit people. You know, I could quite easily have just changed the name of this channel to my photography, and then all of a sudden you'd have random videos completely unrelated to ASMR popping up in your feed. Why am I... Sorry guys, my light's playing up. I think the batteries are about to die in the light. Exactly, it's not exploitative if the other people agree to it, so we'll see. But I'll keep it in mind that it's not something that everyone is going to be against, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. Another follower on Twitter, but it's another bot. What do you know? If anyone doesn't follow me on Twitter, you're more than welcome to follow me on Twitter. My I say my Instagram I'll keep to myself for now, but Twitter, you're more than welcome to follow me there. It's just a BadgerASMR, if you don't already. Grant, you're very kind yet again, and that means a lot to me to hear that that I was able to help. What ASMR artists have I been following? I was saying to earlier on in the live stream that my tastes, my usual suspects for ASMR haven't really changed in the last few years. I very casually drop in and out of it, but it's not something that I follow or go on every day. So it's the same ASMR artists that I always followed. So like GB, Articulate Design. I used to chat with Matt quite a lot back when I was making videos, and he was just a tiny little channel like mine. Who else do I watch? Heather Feather. Watch a lot of Heather's old videos. Who else? Lucy, Creative Calm. Yeah, I'd say you're a little bit late to the stream. It's been going on for nearly an hour now. You're welcome, and I'm glad you're here. Oh, recommendations for music. That's yes, I have. Thanks, Phil. Yes, I have lots of recommendations for music. That is one of my big passions. Music and photography are the big ones. I'll start with a local band to me. It's a band from Newcastle who have been going since the very early 90s. A band called the Wild Hearts. Definitely recommend the Wild Hearts. Songs wise, maybe start with 29 Times the Pain. I Want to Go Where the People Go, or TV Tan. In fact, I'll put that in the I'll type that in the chat as well. On a similar theme of like a sort of hard rock punk sort of vibe, I would also recommend the Backyard Babies. And the song's Brand New Hate. Oh no, wait, the album's called Brand New Hate. Yeah, just that whole album, Brand New Hate. Yeah, lockdown's kept me pretty busy, to be fair. Do I use ASMR for any particular moment or for any purpose? Yeah, let's put that question out to everyone in the chat. So for me, it tends to be relaxation and sleep. Fairly straightforward. Just to quiet my mind at night. I'm definitely a night owl. I struggle with the mornings, the early starts. Like when I worked as a fruit and veg seller when I was a teenager, when I was a produce seller as Sims currently is. I imagine Sims has an early start. I used to have to be up pretty early. My current job gets me up in the morning, sometimes as early as 3 o'clock in the morning. But I'm definitely a night owl, just by genetics or by habit. So yeah, late night, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning ASMR sessions are, that tends to be when I listen to it to help me switch my brain off. Yeah, I know what you mean. When it gets quiet at night and the silence comes in, that's when my brain starts to wake up. And it's not ideal when trying to sleep. Okay, that's a second recommendation for Let's Find Out ASMR. They're in the book, so I will be checking those out at the end of this stream. Hey Wes, that's awful. I hope you're okay. Okay, small dog. Yeah, small dogs think they can get away with biting anything. Yeah, I know what you mean, Phil. That's definitely something that I do as well. I struggle with a lot of the spoken word ASMR. I tend to like the inaudible, sort of either the unintelligible whispering mouth sound stuff, or just general auditory triggers. thanks for stopping by, Cool Mint. Hopefully I'll see you around. I doubt I'll be streaming much longer, to be fair. I'm long past needing a cup of tea, and I've been talking for over an hour now. I definitely could do with a drink. Yeah, it's such an individual thing, what works for us and what doesn't for ASMR. I think I'm pretty much along the same lines as you, Phil. If I need to if I need to keep my head clear to do other things, then yeah, unintelligible stuff works, but it tends to knock me out. I'm not very productive if I'm listening to ASMR. Well, if no one's got any more questions or anything they want to talk about, well, thanks for that, Raphael. I was just about to disappear. No, there's no link to the documentary, unfortunately. It was a student project that they're not able to release publicly for some reason. It's to do with the grading or their examinations or something. So I was allowed to see it because I was in it, but it's not going to be made public as far as I know. Thanks very much, guys. You've cheered me up quite a lot tonight. It's been really nice to just have a little bit of back and forward with some people who enjoy the same sort of things I do. So I'm going to sign off now, and again, just thank you very much for popping by. I think the next time, I think I'm definitely going to do a live stream again. I will, I promise you that much at least. I'll plan the next one out a little bit, and I'll give you some notice, or I'll schedule it and make sure you get notification so that you don't miss the next one. Okay, guys, I'm going to call it a night, and again, thank you very much, and I'll see you again soon.